Pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever!
From Despicable Me, to Frozen, to Finding Dory, the bulk of contemporary animated films are created using CGI, or computer-generated imagery. This is a stark difference from the popular animated films throughout the 20th century, which were mainly created using traditional 2D animation.
You like it?
It's wonderful.
Then it's yours.
In a modern world where everything is now digital, what does this mean for the future of 2D animation? Although the use of this medium isn't as evident in recent feature films, it hasn't completely been abandoned. The origins of traditional animation go all the way back to the early 19th century. A principle known as the persistence of vision was determined in order to explain the illusion of movement. Early animation devices were created with this principle in mind, including Plateau's phenakistoscope in 1832 and Horner's zoetrope in 1834. Around the late 1870s, Raynaud invented a device known as the praxinoscope, which allowed animations to be projected in front of large audiences. Stop-motion animation was introduced in the early 1900s as a result of new developments in photography. In 1914, the process of cell animation was patented by Earl Hurd and was widely used throughout the mid-1900s. This allowed for more detailed backgrounds and made the process of animation more efficient.
Disney Studios' ink and paint department created all their own paints. For Bambi, nearly 250,000 cells were drawn and painted. When you combine that figure with the animation drawings, concept art, layouts, character designs, and backgrounds, over 1 million drawings went into making a little fawn come to life. Pretty amazing, isn't it, Bambi?
Meanwhile, in the early 1960s, 3D computer animation emerged. John Whitney was a major contributor to its development with his creation of motion graphics and animated title sequences. In 1972, Ed Catmull and Fred Parke were the first to use 3D wireframe imagery with the creation of an animated hand. Pixar Animation Studios was founded in 1985, and in 1995 they released the first all-CGI film, Toy Story.
Reach for the sky!
Oh no, Sheriff Woody! I'm here to stop you, One-Eyed Bart!
By the 2000s, the production of 3D animated features took off. What made 3D animation so popular? Back when 3D animation began, the ability to make a character move from one pose to the next was essentially automatic, whereas with 2D animation, each frame had to be made individually, which was an extremely slow process. 2D animation was also considered to be very limited in what it could do in terms of realism. 3D animation can go into much more detail than 2D has the ability to, depicting shadows, applying textures, and placing characters into a realistic virtual space.
Audiences, kids in particular, do find a stronger connection today with the CG characters. It has a dimensionality to it that actually makes the characters and the worlds themselves richer, and it makes it a more immersive experience.
There's only so much one can do with 2D animation. With the invention of 3D animation, a whole new row of possibilities opened up, which built a lot of excitement. The question of whether or not 2D animation is dying is a widely discussed topic. Disney's last 2D animated film was Winnie the Pooh in 2011. Following its release, Disney's CEO Bob Iger announced that the company had no future plans to make any more hand-drawn animated features. Why the switch? Production studios want to create a film that will make them the most money, and will always choose the least risky option. Disney released the 2D animated feature Home on the Range in 2004. At the same time, Pixar released the computer animated feature The Incredibles. The Incredibles, however, happened to achieve much more success. Pixar's Up, a CGI animation, and Disney's The Princess and the Frog, a 2D animation, were released in the same year, and both had great box office numbers and critical praise. However, the box office numbers and critical praise for Up were slightly better.
Please let me in.
No.
Traditional animation still thrives throughout Europe, with award-winning films such as A Cat in Paris, The Illusionist, and Song of the Sea. Additionally, The medium dominates TV and the web. Animated shows such as Family Guy, The Simpsons, and The Regular Show, among many others, continue to use traditional animation. Hybrid animation styles are beginning to appear as well. In 2009, Disney produced the short film Paperman, which combined both 2D and CGI. This being said, 2D animation is far from a dying art form. From television shows to web series to GIFs to feature films around the world, 2D animation is still present in numerous different areas.
I love the medium of hand-drawn animation. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And I never quite understood why animation studios were deciding that audiences weren't interested in watching hand-drawn animation anymore. Never in the history of cinema has a movie been entertaining to an audience because of the technology. It is what you do with the technology. It's what you do with the medium. It's so special.
The success of Pixar films doesn't come from the use of computer animation. Rather, the films are popular due to their captivating stories and relatable characters.
He's brave, like a cowboy should be, and kind and smart. But the thing that makes Woody special is he'll never give up on you.
With an engaging story, charming characters, and emotional appeal, animation will be able to find success and be loved by many, no matter the technique.
3 wishes.
Make it 5.
4.
3. Take it or leave it.
Okay.